If you rely only on holiday designs to make sales, you're missing out on an opportunity to make your shop a year-round moneymaker. The good news is that some of the best print-on-demand products don't depend on seasons, trends, or holidays at all. These are perfect if you want more consistent Etsy sales and less pressure to constantly chase the next holiday. In this video, I'm sharing print-on-demand design ideas that sell all year round, designs that people buy every single month, regardless of the time of the year. Let's get into it. Idea number one is minimalist text-based statements. Simple text designs can be seen as boring, but honestly, boring and simple sells. Minimalist phrases, short statements, and clean typography appeal to a massive audience because they're wearable every day. Let's have a look at some examples on Etsy. Starting with this one, it's a t-shirt with a very simple design. As you can see, it says, "I may be wrong, but it's highly unlikely." Very simple text in just a strong uppercase font, with the lower statement here being outlined with a rectangle here. Super simple design to put together, and it is a bestseller currently. It's in 20 plus baskets. And let's have a look at our EverBee stats here. This has been up for 31 months, so not a brand new listing, but it's selling quite consistently. It has about 164 sales total and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $414. So a very simple design to make that clearly is very popular. Next we have this one, and there are some illustration elements included in this design, but the main focus here is the text. It says, "It's a good day to have a good day," in this nice serif font that's really popular right now. It has a kind of retro feel to it, and there's some little illustration elements surrounding it, and this is in 6 baskets right now. Looking at our EverBee stats, we see this is a fairly new listing. It's only been up for 10 months. It's only had about 11 sales so far, and it's not letting us know the monthly revenue at this point, but it is in 6 baskets right now, so something like this is certainly in demand at the moment. Next up is this t-shirt. It says "Big fan of human rights" on the front, and on the back there are more illustration elements with text as well. But I think if you made something that just had this on the front, even without the illustrations on the back, that could be a really effective seller in your shop. This is a bestseller right now. It's in 20 plus baskets, which means that it's very much in demand at the moment. And I think something like this is quite timely with our socio-political climate right now. Something like this is appealing to a lot of people. And let's have a look at our EverBee stats. This has been only up for 3 months, so a very new listing, and it's already sold 531 times. That's incredible, and it's bringing in a monthly revenue of almost $10,000 with 361 sales per month. So that is a bestseller that is on fire at the moment. And again, I know the appeal, a lot of the appeal is this back illustration image, but I think even if you did something just with plain text on the front, that could also be a bestseller for you. Next we have this t-shirt. It's a very, very simple design that says "Everything is absolutely, completely, totally under control," in a very simple all caps font. Very little design going into this t-shirt, but it is an Etsy's pick right now, and it's had 20 plus views in the last 24 hours. And looking at our EverBee stats, we can see this has been up for 18 months and has had 41 sales in that time frame with a monthly revenue of about $98. So not a huge bestseller, but people are checking it out, and it just goes to show you something that would take almost no time to design still gets lots of views and interest on Etsy. And here we have another very simple design that just says "Admit it, life would be boring without me," in a bold all caps font here. What they've done here for this design is make each line a different color, which I think is a smart idea. It just adds a little bit of design interest to something that would otherwise just be text. And it looks like there's a bit of a distressed kind of look to this font as well, which could be something to think about doing to just, again, add a little bit more interest to a design like this. This is a bestseller currently. It's in 12 baskets right now. And this has been up for 32 months, so not a new listing, but it's had 651 sales total so far, bringing in a monthly revenue of $932, with monthly sales averaging about 44 per month. And last in this category, we have this t-shirt here that says "Sorry for what my face said." And I've talked about this particular design style in at least one of my other videos because these are super popular on Etsy right now. They usually come on these Comfort Colors t-shirts, which you can find these really great flat lay mock-ups right there on Etsy. And then all you have to do is come up with a funny saying of some sort. It doesn't have to be funny, but I think the ones that are funny, relatable, mood-based sayings are the ones that end up being the best sellers, but you can niche down in other ways with this design as well. And it really is just a matter of coming up with the sayings, and then the design part of this is super simple, as you can see. And this one is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. And our EverBee stats are telling us this is a new listing. This has only been up for 7 months and has already sold over 1,000 times, bringing in a monthly revenue of $2,212 with monthly sales sitting at 123. So that's pretty impressive for something that is this simple to design. And I would say jump on this trend while it's still going, because you'll be surprised at how well these will sell in your Etsy shop. I would just advise you to come up with your own sayings. Don't just copy like this one or the other ones that you see that are bestsellers already, because they've already gained traction. There's no point in trying to copy them. Where you can shine is coming up with your own original funny sayings and focusing on your own niche and coming up with ideas within that niche, and you'll likely find a best-selling idea somewhere in there. Idea number 2 is niche identity designs. People love wearing things that quietly tell the world who they are. So they focus on things like hobbies, jobs, personality traits, or lifestyles. The key here is specificity. The more clearly someone feels seen by your design, the more likely they are to buy any time of year. So let's have a look at some examples on Etsy. Starting with this wall art design here, this could be a good idea to design if you're in the foodie niche, for chefs, cooks, anyone who's just really into their food or being in their kitchen. Something like this would work great in that area. It just says "Sweet dreams are made of cheese" with this really fun font and a simple outline around it, kind of in the shape of a block of cheese, I guess. And this is an Etsy's pick at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. And looking at our EverBee stats, we can see it's been up for 31 months with a total of 671 sales, and it's not letting us know the monthly revenue or sales at the moment, but it is in 20+ baskets, so this is very much in demand. Here's another idea for the foodie niche. It's a really simple design that just says "What's for dinner?" And this really beautiful, I think, hand-written or hand-designed font here. And it looks like there's an artist's name at the bottom. So you could do something similar in a ready-made or pre-made font. And again, we don't want to copy this design, but maybe something that says "What's for dinner?" with an illustration, or "What's for lunch," or you get the idea, just taking this and running with it and coming up with something that fits your niche. And this is a great one, again, for anyone who's really into food or just being in their kitchen. This is also an Etsy's pick. It's in 20+ baskets right now. And this has been up for 27 months with a total of 859 sales, bringing in a monthly revenue of $897 with average monthly sales sitting at 39. Next, let's have a look at a couple of ideas for the book niche, for bookworms, librarians, book lovers, book clubs, that kind of thing. This one is a really cute design that says "Might be books, might be snacks," and as you can see, it's printed on a tote bag. This looks very similar to the tote bags that are available on Printify, and this is a bestseller, and it's in 20+ baskets right now. This is a very new listing. It's only been up for 4 months and has already sold over 200 times, bringing in a monthly revenue of $480 with 50 monthly sales. So it looks like that's a really popular idea and quite a simple design to put together, but because it appeals so directly to this specific niche of book lovers, it's doing really well. Here's another design geared towards that niche demographic of book lovers. It's a mug this time, and it's one that you can get on Printify that has a colored handle, and inside it comes with a few different color options. And this one says, "I'm with the band," and it's kind of a take on someone saying that they're with the band, meaning a music band, but it's talking about banned books in this case. And it has an illustration of a bunch of books that have been banned historically from libraries and schools. And this is really geared towards someone maybe who's a librarian, who reads a lot, who's a bookworm or part of a book club. And this is a bestseller at the moment. It's had 12 views in the last 24 hours. This listing has been up for a couple of years, so it's not new, but it's had 415 sales total so far. It's bringing in a monthly revenue of over $1,300, which is pretty impressive, with about 122 sales per month happening. Another direction you could go in this niche identity category would be to focus on occupations. And in this case, this is a mug geared toward dentists. And it says, "I'm silently judging your teeth," which is really cute and funny, and I think would make a really good gift for dentists, which I think is why it's currently a bestseller. And it is on one of those Printify mugs with the colored handles and insides. So this is definitely something you could make with print on demand, and a very simple design to put together. And again, we're not going to copy this one, but we can take this idea of just a simple, funny saying geared towards dentists, finding a cute font, putting it on one of these Printified colored handle mugs, and boom, there you go. You have a potential bestseller. This is in 12 baskets right now. This is a fairly new listing. It's been up just for over a year and has had 236 sales so far, with a monthly revenue of just over $400, and it's selling about 12 per month. Here's another example of a mug geared towards a specific occupation. In this case, it's for teachers, and it's a mug that says difference maker, and then it has this kind of dictionary definition of what a difference maker is. And it is personalized, so you can put the person's name down here at the bottom. So if you're into selling personalized print-on-demand products, this could be an idea for you, where it is focused on a specific occupation, but it's also available to be personalized towards a certain person. So this could make a great gift for a teacher, and I think that's a big part of why it is a bestseller, because it is customizable, so the person can make it personalized to the person they're buying it for. This is, again, a bestseller. It's in 20 plus baskets right now. A fairly new listing. It's been up for 5 months and it's sold 70 times already, and it's bringing in a monthly revenue of $346 with 20 monthly sales. Idea number 3 is pet and animal themed designs. Pet owners don't stop loving their pets after the holidays. Dog, cat, and animal themed designs are consistently strong year-round sellers. So you can focus on humor, breed-specific designs, minimal illustrations, subtle pet owner pride, and these work beautifully on all kinds of apparel, mugs, and phone cases, for instance. So let's have a look at some examples on Etsy. The first one we have here is a funny cat t-shirt. It says, first of all, "I'm a delight," and it has this kind of screaming black cat on it. So really cute, funny graphic, and perfect for people who have a sense of humor, but also people who are cat lovers. And this is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20 plus baskets. This is a really new listing. It's only been up for 2 months and has sold 45 times already, with a monthly revenue of $631 and 34 sales per month so far. Next, we have another t-shirt design. This one is geared towards corgi lovers. There's a lot of people out there, especially dog owners, who are very specific about the kinds of breeds that they love. And there's a lot of people who really love corgis. So this one says, "I've got friends in low places," which is such a cute, funny saying. And it has this sort of retro illustration of a Western style corgi. This is a bestseller at the moment. It's had 20 plus views in the last 24 hours. This is another fairly new listing. It's only been up for 6 months and has sold almost 300 times already, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $1,136 and has about 70 sales per month. Here is another t-shirt design example, and this is a good example because it shows us that we can be kind of creative within this niche. We don't have to have a t-shirt that just says like, I love cats or I love corgis or something like this. We can think outside the box a little bit inside of this niche. So something like this is a great example of that, where it is a cat t-shirt, but it's a space astronaut cat, and it's a really cute illustration here. This is in 5 baskets right now, letting us know that it is in demand. And it's been up for about 12 months and has had 34 sales so far. So not exactly a bestseller, but I did want to show you this as an example of something that's just a little bit more creative within this niche. Here's another t-shirt example, which is great if you are someone who wants to sell children's apparel. This is a good example of a bestseller within this animal or pet niche. And it's a really cool design, which I think is probably AI generated, something you could get yourself if you used a very specific prompt. It looks like it's almost like a bedazzled style image, but of course it's just a print. And it has a horsey wearing a little pink cowboy hat. And again, this is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. And it's very, very new. It's only 2 months old and has sold 15 times already, bringing in a monthly revenue of about $75. So just something to think about as well if you are wanting to get into the pet or animal niche. You might want to consider selling children's apparel as well, because lots of kids really, really love animals. So that could be a strong seller for your shop. Here's another kind of unusual take in the pet or animal themed niche here. This is a retro design that features a band of horses running with lightning overhead. So it has this kind of retro 90s feel to this t-shirt, but it could apply to someone who is into horses just as much as someone who's into these kind of retro ironic designs. So I really quite like this one. It is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. This has been up for 6 months and has sold 93 times, and it's not letting us know the monthly revenue or sales, but it is very popular right now with it being in those 20+ baskets. Here's another horse-themed design, this time on a hooded sweatshirt. Very, very simple design of a horse in silhouette with this kind of heartbeat design with a heart and a horseshoe on the heartbeat line here as well. This is a bestseller. It's had 16 views in the last 24 hours. If you're interested in selling phone cases in your print-on-demand shop, I really believe going into the pet and animal niche is a really good way to go, because people love carrying around reminders of their pets on their phones in one way or another. This one is a really cute design. It actually has multiple designs that the customer can choose from, which is something you could think about offering. But they basically all have the same theme of these kind of stripy or checkered watercolor backgrounds, and then these really cute watercolor illustrations of different dash-ons doing different things. And this is a bestseller at the moment in 20+ baskets. Quite a new listing. It's been up for 4 months, has sold 140 times already, bringing in a monthly revenue of over $2,000. And lastly, we have this phone case design idea, again, a dog-themed idea. This time it's a custom design. So if you're someone who wants to put in that little bit of extra effort to your print-on-demand products, this could be a really smart way to go. Phone cases sell really well. And I think, again, having your pet on your phone case is a really popular idea. People love carrying images of their pets around to show other people. And because this one is personalized, it makes a really great gift for people. So this basically has the pet's name and then a picture of the pet, which is an illustration based on the photo that the customer sends in. So again, you'll have to learn how to use likely an AI program to create illustrations from those photos you get sent. So something like this does take a little bit of extra effort, but I think once you get a system going and really learn the tools you need to make something like this, it could really take off for you and be a bestseller. So this is currently a bestseller, this particular one, and it's in 20+ baskets. This has been up for 24 months, so about 2 years, and has sold 742 times and brings in a monthly revenue of almost $3,500 a month. So that just goes to show you, with a little bit of extra effort, customized print-on-demand products can really bring your shop into that bestseller category. Idea number 4 is mental health and self-care messages. Self-care is not seasonal. Designs that promote rest, boundaries, emotional awareness, or gentle motivation resonate deeply all year. The key is to keep the messaging supportive, neutral, and non-preachy. These designs tend to perform well because they feel personal and comforting, not trendy. Let's have a look at some examples on Etsy. First, we have this t-shirt design that is celebrating neurodiversity and autism awareness. It says celebrate minds of all kinds, and has a really cute design of just rows of different colors of flowers and a really cute illustration style, and then a nice kind of handwritten looking font here. This is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. This has been up for 9 months and has already sold 973 items and is bringing in about $750 a month of revenue with about 32 sales per month. So certainly a very popular item at the moment. Next we have this design, which is focused on mental health, and it says it's okay to, and then each different flower illustration has a different saying inside of it, saying it's okay to start over, make mistakes, be different, have bad days, etc. It's a really cute, dynamic looking design. I really like this one. This is a bestseller at the moment. It's in 20+ baskets. Quite a new listing. This has been up for 4 months and has already sold 50 times, bringing in a monthly revenue of $779. Motivational or mental health themed designs do really well in the wall art arena as well. So if that's something you're interested in selling in your print-on-demand shop, motivational themes work really well with wall art. This one is super cute. It says, what's the best that could happen? That phrase, that saying, you'll see it all over Etsy, certainly in a lot of wall art, but on t-shirts and stuff as well. I really like this interpretation of it where it's on a fortune cookie paper and it has this kind of retro looking cartoon hand holding it. Really cute illustration. This is a bestseller at the moment and it's in 20+ baskets. Pretty new listing, about 7 months old, and has sold 26 items so far and bringing in a monthly revenue of $336. Here's another example of a wall art design in this kind of motivational category. It just says 1% better every day in a very bold font here. And then at the bottom right corner, it has a little blurb, which includes little sayings about motivation, small steps bring you closer to big changes, etc. And it's a very, very simple design, just a black background with this white text on top. So it'd be fairly easy to put this together. And it is a bestseller at the moment in 20+ baskets. This is about a year old, this listing, and has sold 178 times, bringing in a monthly revenue of $522. Next, let's look at some sweatshirts in this category, starting with this one. It says kindness is free, sprinkle it everywhere. Quite a simple design, but a few things going on here. We've got a nice bold font for the kindness word, and every letter within it is a different color. We've got this leopard print heart up at the top, which is a very trendy thing right now. And then we have a script font for the is free part, and then a kind of a hand-drawn looking font at the bottom here as well. This is a bestseller. It's in 20+ baskets. This is 13 months old and has sold 207 times over those 13 months and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $459. Next, we have another design on a sweatshirt here. Very simple. It just says, be you, the world will adjust. And very simple, but very effectively done. We've got this really nice script font for the BU, and then a nice sans serif all caps font at the bottom for the world will adjust. And the text is overlapping each other, but they've been able to create a cutout here so that the bottom text is still legible. I do have a video on how to achieve that effect. I will try to remember to link it here or mention it in the description. But this is a bestseller at the moment. It's also in 20+ baskets. Quite a new listing. It's been up for 7 months with 154 sales already, bringing in a monthly revenue of over $3,000. So goes to show you something as simple as this can sell really well if it's well designed and if the message really appeals to that particular market you're looking at. In this case, it would be motivational, self-care, mental health. And lastly, we have a design on a hooded sweatshirt, which has a front and back print. And again, I do have another video where I explain how to do a front and back print in Printify if you're interested in checking that out. And this design just says, "You are enough" on the front. And then on the back, it says, "Dear person behind me, the world is a better place with you in it. Lots of love from the person in front of you." And I've seen a lot of different variations of this design. This one has quite a nice simplicity to it, and it looks like it's appealing to their audience because it is a bestseller at the moment and is in 20+ baskets. This has been up for 24 months and is sold over 1,500 times. That's a lot, bringing in a monthly revenue of $418 with 19 sales a month. So as you can see, this niche of mental health, motivational imagery and messages is really popular on Etsy, and they're just quite fun and simple to design as well. Idea number 5 is simple illustration-based designs. Simple line drawings, icons, or small illustrations work really well. So think minimal flowers, objects, symbols, everyday visuals. These designs feel timeless, which is exactly what you want for year-round sales. Let's have a look at some examples on Etsy. Starting with this t-shirt design of a frog swimming, and that's pretty much all there is to this image. We see the frog's head kind of peeking out and the rest of his body is underwater. And you wouldn't think something like this would be a bestseller, but here it is. You'd think, who's going to want to wear a picture of a swimming frog? But turns out a lot of people do, and goes to show you these simple illustration ideas can work really, really well. So this is a bestseller, and it's in 20+ baskets right now. A very new listing. It's only been up for 3 months and has sold 52 times already with a monthly revenue of over $1,200. So it just goes to show you that something simple like this can sell really well. Next we have this t-shirt design, which is a kind of celestial theme of a golden dragon flying with these kind of celestial elements in the background, the clouds and the stars, sort of a fantasy feel to it, but again, no text, no words, just this really pretty illustration. And it's a bestseller as well with 20+ views in the last 24 hours. This has been up for 7 months and has sold 190 times during that time frame, bringing in a monthly revenue of almost $1,300 a month. Here's another celestial themed design, this time on a sweatshirt here, and very, very simple again, of just a sun with the moon in the different phases surrounding it. And again, just super simple idea. Celestial themes do seem to do really well. It just fits into that boho astrology category that a lot of people are very into, and that makes it a bestseller at the moment with it being in 20+ baskets. This is 23 months old and has sold 2,279 times, which is amazing, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of over $5,600, and pretty incredible for such a simple design. They've done a really good job of picking out a very nice mock-up with this simple flat lay design. So I think for these very, very simple illustration-based images, you want to make sure you have really nice looking listing photos. Next, we'll look at this t-shirt design. It does mention in the listing title Valentine's Day a couple of times, which could explain why it is currently a bestseller, because we are in February at the moment. However, I do think this kind of design could sell well all year round because it doesn't have to necessarily apply only to Valentine's Day. A heart can be worn year-round basically, and it has a kind of floral theme as well, making it something that could appeal to buyers all year round. This is a bestseller again at the moment, and it is in 20+ baskets. This is 13 months old, has sold over 500 times, and is bringing in a monthly revenue of $946. And I do think this design could sell well for Mother's Day and that kind of thing, but also as a year-round image that has just a kind of general appeal to it. This is another one I wanted to show you that similarly mentions Valentine's Day in the listing title, but I do think it has a year-round appeal as well because it is so simple. It's quite trendy right now, this heart shape with a leopard print design inside of it. So this shop is really capitalizing on that trend. It is a bestseller and is in 20 plus baskets right now. This has been up for 13 months, has sold over 600 times, and is bringing in over $1,200 a month in revenue. Next we have this mountain fish graphic tee. It features an illustration of a fish with this kind of mountain landscape inside of it. So pretty simple, nothing else going on here, no text, no sayings or anything on it. And clearly this is working for this seller because it is a bestseller at the moment and it's in 20 plus baskets. This is a fairly new listing. It's been up for 7 months with 230 sales so far and a monthly revenue of about $657. Here we have another illustration only design that would appeal to music lovers or guitar players, and it has a bit more of a complex illustration where it's got this kind of guitar shape that's made up of a reflection on the water. And I do think you could probably produce something similar to this using an AI program. It is a bestseller at the moment as well and is in 20 plus baskets. This has been up for 13 months and has sold 147 times, bringing in a monthly revenue of about $680. Next we have this t-shirt design that features this floral mandala image. It's basically a flower shape built up out of different colored leaves that all have different colors that form this kind of rainbow-like effect. And it is a bestseller. And I have to say floral designs do really well on Etsy, especially year-round, and you might think flowers are boring or cliche or whatever, but they do sell really well because of their broad appeal. So don't sleep on the floral designs is something I would recommend if that's an area you want to get into. Making designs with just sort of simple illustrations and no text, floral images is a really good way to go in this category. So this is a bestseller and is in 20 plus baskets. It's been up for 9 months, so not even a full year yet, and it's sold 130 times already with a monthly revenue of about $443. And lastly, we have another floral design, which is a little bit different. It has this vintage lino cut look to it with these large, I think they're peonies and ranunculus tea. That doesn't mean much to me. I don't know a lot about flowers, but it's a really beautiful vintage looking design. It almost has this kind of wallpaper pattern look to it, and I really like how large this is on the tea. It has a real presence to it. So something else to think about in the floral category, there's so many ways you can go about doing floral designs, really simple line designs, really colorful designs, something like this with a more vintage look to it. There's so many directions you can go with this. So again, don't sleep on the floral designs. This is a bestseller and it is in 20 plus baskets. This has been up for 9 months and has sold 439 times with a monthly revenue of $808. Hopefully this video has given you some ideas for print-on-demand products that can sell well all year round. Holiday designs are great, but evergreen designs are what create consistent income. If you want a more stable Etsy shop, put some of your focus on products people can buy any month of the year. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for more tips and ideas. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.